Hello, this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up! Card videos, please click that subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll be notified when my videos release. Also, I give away the demo card, so if you're a first-time subscriber, put your email in the comments and I'll email you back and let you know if you won the card. Also, make sure you watch the video all the way through, because you never know, I might give the card away to anyone, or I might be doing card kits or swaps or something. So anyway, now let's go make a card. Today's card is a fun fold money card, or we can actually make it even a gift card as well. And this is using the Encircled in Friendship sentiments. Also encircled in beauty is all these cuts here. And then we're also going to be using layering circles. So this base right here is one piece. That's why it's a fun fold card. So what you're going to do is grab a piece of basic black, and the dimensions are going to be 10 inches by 8.5. Now this is going to be a shorter card than the normal slimline card. If you look at them here, it's just a little shorter, and it's because this is one piece. So I had to cut it down a little bit, but it'll still fit in that business number 10 envelope. So you're fine. So 8.5 by 10 on the 10 area. You're going to get out your cutter here. Now this is a Stampin' Up! Cutter. Now all the measurements and everything is in the description of my video. So go to the description. There's a little arrow down, and you arrow down that you might have to click on to show more. But it'll have all the dimensions. It'll also have the bit.ly links. So if you don't have one of these Stampin' Up! Cutters, you can click on the link. It'll take you directly to my site. So on the 10-inch part, we're going to score this at 3.5. Now, and I have a score and a cutter on my thing here. So I got 3.5, and then we're going to score it again at 7, just like so. Take your bone folder, and on that 7 part, score it down really good. Just really take that bone folder and score it down good. Now this card can be a little bulky. Now this lays down okay, but now let's go ahead and we're going to do the other side here. And this is actually the front that we're doing right now. I'll show you in a second. So really give it a good score. So this is the front, like here on this part, and the smaller one is the one inside. Now you can already tell this isn't going to lay down really nice. So now I did do a penny trick on one of my cards, on the Fun Fold Masculine card I put up on June 27th, and I put a penny in there, but this wouldn't even hold down with a penny. So what we're going to be using is a magnet. And they look like this. And if you go to my description of my video, there's a link to the site where I get the magnets. And these are just two little, and the little ones look like this when you tear them apart. They look like that big. They're like 1/4 by in diameter by 1 3/16, and so, or 1 32 something. Anyway, I'll have the link in my description. So we're going to be using a magnet. So now that you've got that part done, we're going to, like I said, here's that magnet here. We're going to cut this part first. So get out your cutter again. Now this is the money part. This is the inside. This is the front. Okay. This will be shorter by what, 1/2 inch. So I'm going to take this piece, the money part, and I'm going to put it in my cutter, and I'm going to put that score line in the gully here and bring up my cutter all the way to the top. And so that is at 3 inches. Okay. And I'm going to take this. Now on my cutter here, I've got a ruler on the side, and I know where 2 inches is. And we're going to take this and we're going to cut it down to 2 inches. There's even like a little mark here on the side that tells you when you get down to that measurement. So I'm down to 2 right here, and then go ahead and take it out. Now that you've cut that 2 inches, you're going to take a ruler and go on the money side, and you're going to take a pencil and mark at 5 inches. And then you're going to take your ruler, find out where that 2 inches is and the 5, and you're going to draw a diagonal line like that. Then you're going to take your cutter again and you're going to line up that score line in the cutter. So I've got that score line in the middle of that area in between, and I'm going to take my cutter and go right up. Now you can tell that it's going to release, kind of pull on that paper a little bit. You can kind of feel it go when it does go, or you can lift up and go, oh, I'm right there. And it goes and releases. Now you're going to grab a piece of gold foil and you're going to cut it 2.5 inches and just make it longer. I just left this at the 12 by 12, but I'm going to take this gold and I'm going to put it on the front here up to the edge, and I'm going to turn it over, kind of put it in the middle like you would, because this is just like 1/4 of an inch, you know, all around. And I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to mark that angle. Then I'm going to take my cutter and I'm going to put that pencil line in the gully here and cut that off like so. Now I'm going to take that gold we just cut off and put it all the way up to the edge like that, turn it over, and then we're going to draw a line on the bottom, just like that. Now that you've got that line there, don't assume you're cutting on the line. Don't cut on that line. We're going to take that line and we're going to take it to the 1/2 inch. So here's your gully where you cut. Make it a 1/2 inch to the right. So I've got a measurement just to the right of the gully. So I'm going to put it right there and bump it up against, and then I'm going to cut it off. So it's going to look like that. Now that we've got this piece cut, because we're going to be putting in a magnet, I wanted the least amount of paper possible in between the two magnets. So I'm going to cut out this middle piece here. Now I know that there is a total of a 1/2 inch all around. So that's 1/4 of an inch on all sides. So I'm going to go a little further than that, and I'm going to take out just the middle. So I'm going to turn this around and keep cutting it all around, and I'll be right back. So I've cut a big hole in my gold foil. Now I'm just going to snail it, and I'm going to put it in the middle of that piece. Now we've got a piece of white, just basic white, and this is 2 inches across by longer than the card. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to find kind of the middle, take it past this edge. If you go like this, it won't work. You got to get it past that edge, just like the gold one, and then turn it over. Take your pencil and draw that line, and then let's take the cutter and we're going to put it into the gully, and we're going to cut that off like so. Take that white piece, put it all the way up to the top of the black in the middle, turn it over, do the bottom line like that. Take your cutter. Don't cut to the line. Don't cut the line. Take the line to the gully and then move it over a 1/2 inch, because we've got a 1/2 inch border all the way around. So I'm taking it a 1/2 inch and I'm cutting it off like that. And now you'll see when I line it up, it's perfect. Now, before we put this piece on, we're going to stamp it first, and we're going to be using this sentiment here from Encircled in Friendship and the Evening Evergreen. And even before we stamp it, we're going to take a dauber and just do the edges, just to make it not so brazenly white. And I'm not going to go in the paper too much, like the front, I actually go in a little bit. I'm just going to do the edges. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Now that I've done the edges, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. I know this is an orange stamp and you don't need the stamping pad. I like using it. Sometimes these orange stamps, when you use the pad, they can smear them. This one doesn't. And I find that you connect with the paper a lot better too. So there's your stamp, and now we can put it on the card. Now all of the dimensions and everything are in the description of my video, so you don't have to be sitting there frantically writing down all my dimensions and everything. Just go in the description of the video and pull it down, and all the measurements will be there. If you don't have one of these cool Stampin' Up cutters, there's a link there. Click on the link. It'll take you right to my Stampin' Up site, and you can place an order. Now, before we can affix this flap down, you have to put in your innards first. Don't forget to do that. So we're going to take 2 evening evergreens, and these are going to be cut 3.25 by 8.25. And you're just going to put those right in the middle like so, and grab the second one and nail it down and put that over on the same time. And try to line these 2 edges up so it looks good. All right, that's how you do that. Now to fix the flap, you want to use tear tape. So measure off a piece of tear tape and put it down. You don't want to use snail because snail isn't as strong. So put a piece of tear tape and take off the little thing there and hold it down really good. And this isn't going to go anywhere. Now we're going to make these decorations, and there's one on the back that's holding the magnet down. So you're going to take in gold foil. There's this, actually the smallest one is in Evening Evergreen. The second smallest one of Encircled in Beauty is the gold foil. And the third smallest one is in gold foil. So go ahead and cut those out. You're going to need your take your pick tool. If you don't have one of these, go to the description of my video, click on the link, and I'll take you to my store. Also, I give away the demo card. Don't forget, if you're a first-time subscriber or if you're a subscriber and you've never gotten a demo card, put in my comments, I would like to win the demo card, and put your email. I can't talk to you without the email, because if you don't have your settings correct, then you'll never know I'm responding. So many people have won the card and they never contacted me back because they didn't put their email. So put your email. I'd like to win the demo card. And I'm giving away actually 3 because this is the second video I've done, because the first one I didn't have my microphone on, so I felt really stupid. Anyway, so go ahead and cut all those and come right back. So we're going to take the 2 smaller little doily thingies and we're going to match them up together here just with snail and put them together like so. You're going to take your layering circles and grab the 3rd smallest plain one and cut that out in just basic white. And now let's go ahead and stamp this circle. Now we're going to stamp from Encircled in Friendship, You're the Best. And we're going to take our dauber again, and we're going to do the outside of the circle first. And then once I've gone all the way around, I'm going to go a little bit in. So I'm all the way around now. Now I'm going to go in a little bit and do the whole circle. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp it. I'm using that stamping pad. I know you don't have to, but I like using it. So go like that, and there you go. Now we can go ahead and snail that into the middle like that. Now that we've done all the stamping, go ahead and take 2 of these small ones we made, and we're going to put one on the upper part and one on the bottom part like so. Now for the front, this gold foil we're going to cut 3 3/8 by 8 3/8. Now, I am putting in a magnet underneath all this paper that's going to hook to the back. Now, in order for it to really stick, you need to make sure you take out some of this foil. Plus, that's a lot of foil to waste just being under something. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it in my cutter again. Now, I know there is a 1/4 of an inch all the way around, so I'm going to measure this just past a 1/4 of an inch and take my cutter and go at least a 1/4 of an inch up, and I'm going to cut a big old rectangle in the middle, and I'm going to do this all the way around. I've cut this. If you have a little bit of a disconnect between 2 ends, just take an X-Acto knife and meet them up and cut that piece out. Now we can go ahead and snail up the gold. Now don't worry about any of the measurements. They're all in the description of my video. So pull down the video and get the description, and I'll have all the measurements for you so you don't have to sit there frantically while you're watching my video to try to pull everything up. And if you need any of the supplies, just click on the supply thing. I'll take you right to my site. Now for the next piece, this is that Expressions and Ink DS paper, and it's beautiful, and it's got all this gold in it. That's why we're using gold. And this piece is going to be cut 3 by 8. But before we put this on, we need to put on our magnet. So these are the magnets, and if you go to the body of my video, the description, there's a link to where you can get these magnets, and I have the sizes. Now I just ordered some, and I've had these for a while, and I think they changed the part number because I couldn't find my old part number. But these are like 1/4 of an inch, and that's in diameter, and then the thickness is 1/32. Anyway, it's in the description of my video. So those pop off together, and then I have a little tiny male and female part. Now I want to make sure that these have a really good connection, and it has to go through all this paper. That's why we cut out that gold there. So I really want it to be about here. So I'm going to take a piece of tear tape, and I'm going to just put it right there where I know it doesn't have anything interfering with that gold on the money part. And I'm going to take these 2 pieces here. Take off the little tape, and take the 2 pieces, slide them apart, and I know the bottom piece is going to go right there, and if I turn this over, it should fit like this, and they should connect. Now that you've got that magnet on the front here, and it's about in the middle, what we're going to do is we're going to change gears. Now this magnet, I had no problem with putting it on the back and going through the card, and it stays fine. But for whatever reason, when I drop this on here like that, it won't keep the card closed. So that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to find the correct size of the magnet again, because there's a right side and a wrong side, and we know it's right there. So now we're going to take a glue dot. So I'm just going to take a glue dot like this, and I'm going to put it on the side that it sticks. So right here. And then I'm going to close up this card, and I'm going to figure out right where it hits inside here. My dog's barking, that's awesome. And put it on the inside. Now I would go ahead and use tear tape, but you don't want this to stick. So, and then go ahead and close it, and it stays closed. So that's a good thing. You might want to test it out before you put all of your stuff on, because if you have a magnet that isn't as strong, you want to test it. So if you have to put it on the inside of the flap, that's fine. If you have to put it on the back side, then put it on the back side and put that last little doohickey on the back. In fact, since we're putting it on the inside of the money place, I'm just going to take this and put it on the middle like it's supposed to be there. So now let's go ahead and do the string to the DS paper. So the twine you want to use is the Simply Elegant trim, and it comes in a silver and a gold. And you're going to take off 3 10-inch pieces of that twine. And by the way, when you're not using the twine, put a little glue dot on the top here and then stick it down, then it doesn't unravel and be a real pain. So, and then we're going to take the Expressions in Ink DS paper, and we are going to cut this in a 3 by 8. And we're going to take the snail, and at the very ends, snail it up really good like so. Then take your first piece and kind of eyeball it in the middle there, and stick it on that tape, and then turn it over. Now I'm going to put that end on my silicone craft sheet because nothing will stick to it. So, and then I'm going to let the twine just kind of lay down naturally, and then I'm going to snail the twine. Okay, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put it right down the middle, and then I'm going to flip it over again and stick it on the back. Okay, I'm going to take my second piece and do the same thing. So I'm going to put it right next to that other one, turn it over, and snail the twine again, and then flip it to the front and put it right next to that first one. Okay, flip it over and put it on the back, and then the last one, and I'm going to put it right next to this piece here, so they're all lined up. Flip it over, Snail on that twine again. And line it up to that middle one. And this is so they don't like gap or move or do crazy things like that. And flip it over again. Okay, don't forget, I give away the demo card if you're a first-time subscriber, or you've been a subscriber and you never got a demo card. Put in my comments that you'd like to win the demo card and put your email in there. I can't talk to you without your email. And I'll let you know if you won the demo card, and I'll get your address, and I'll mail it out. And this, I actually have 3 demo cards because I had to shoot this video twice because I didn't have volume on the first one. Anyway, so I just nailed that piece down. Now remember, we had this piece from before when we were doing all our stamping, and go ahead and get out your dimensionals. Now look at it straight on and know where your where it is in the middle, and we're going to put the dimensionals on the side here because we've got the string going down the middle. So put your dimensionals on so they miss the string, and then you can flip it over and put it right over like so. Now the last little piece is all I'm going to do is put a little bling on it. So I'm going to put these gilded gems on here. I'm going to take the big ones and I'm going to put them on top of the string, just kind of in the middle like so. Don't forget, in the description of my video, if you pull it down, will be all the dimensions, will be all the links. If you need to get the Stampin' Up trimmer, because that thing is pretty awesome, it has a score on it and everything. You can also go after the demo card. If you want to win the demo card, put your email in the comments and say you want to win the demo card, and I'll let you know if you won. And look, and the magnet works, boop, and it works on this one for on the back. That's so weird. Anyway, so that'll do it for me. Thanks a lot. Bye.